Hello you, and welcome to your midweek daily rundown with me, Dan Morfitt. This is the show on Channel 7 where we look at some of the day's big talking points and some little bits you might have missed too. Things up for debate on this daily rundown include the Battle of the Thames and a royal pose on a magazine. And our guest will be able to get there on their soapbox as well on this slightly hot, moist, cold and dry day with their something to say. But first, it's time to introduce our guest that will be helping me wade through it all. She's a wine drinker, a blogger, and you will have seen her on Channel 4's First Dates. Welcome back to the one-time Playboy bunny, Jacqui Wright.
Hello, Dan.
Welcome to the bunket.
Thank you.
You're a wine drinker?
Yeah.
Red,
Not tonight,
white
though.
or rosé?
White.
Ooh.
White with soda, spritzer.
I do that as well.
Spritzer.
A nice Marlboro.
Not lemonade.
No,
soda.
Yeah, fizzy water.
You ruin it with soda, so it doesn't really matter what it is, does it?
Good Sauvignon Blanc.
Yeah, Sauvignon Blanc, nice Chilean one.
We are going to get on tonight. That's good. Right, if you want to get involved with the show, please do. You can have your say on anything we chat about at all. Just tweet us at The Daily Rundown. Go on, we don't bite. You can also follow us while you're at it, otherwise it would be a wasted journey to our bit of Twitter. Right, time now to look at our first story. Boats carrying the UKIP leader Nigel Farage and the prominent Remain supporter Sir Bob Geldof have clashed in a bizarre battle of the Thames ahead of the EU referendum next week. Nigel Farage led the flotilla of up to 60 vessels which passed under London Tower's bridge at around 10 a.m. this morning. Geldof was joined by Rachel Johnson, sister of former London Mayor Boris, and another prominent Remain campaigner, on a boat blasting out into the masses in with the in crowd on a large onboard sound system. They were also joined by boats with better in flags in what's surely the most bizarre EU story yet. Thing is though, is this the most British thing you've ever seen? Did you see it? And most importantly, what the heck was the point? Jacqui.
You took the words out of my mouth there. What was the point in that? Was it some sort of PR exercise?
It seemed like it should have been in a sitcom. You know, where...
He's getting nasty in his old age, I think, Bob. He's getting nasty.
But this is something that I'd expect, Richard Bryars to do with getting into a boat on the Thames, or maybe Frank Spencer. This is Nigel Farage.
I know what you're saying, yeah.
And Sir Bob Geldof taking over boats in the capital's river. For I don't know what.
No, I don't think anybody does know. Well, obviously one's on Brexit and one's in, one's out. So it's obviously a PR exercise. But Bob, he wasn't very happy, I suppose, was he?
Well, they must have found out about each other's plans and then decided to do it on the same day.
But I would imagine he kicked off. Now,
sadly, we can't talk about the referendum as such because the voting's next week. But we can talk about how they're doing it, and it sort of makes a mockery of what is a very, very serious referendum.
It is a very serious subject, yeah. But I don't think anybody could have took that exercise seriously today. And then apparently was there somebody spraying water on somebody's
they had
boat?
water cannons going off, and I think the last time anybody did such a terrible stunt on the Thames was when Michael Jackson rolled a 20-foot statue of himself down the river to promote an album.
I remember it, yeah.
And that actually seems to be more sensible than what the...
Two grown men.
And by the sounds of it, the Brexit campaign and the Remain campaign, doing bizarre, ludicrous things. Can they go lower?
Yeah,
I didn't think they could before today.
Probably. I'm waiting for the next one. Probably by the end of the week there'll be something somewhere.
Maybe Nigel Farage will take up wing
It'll be Nigel
walking.
Farage, definitely, and whoever else. But didn't Bob kick off a couple of weeks, or last week with Katie Hopkins? He wouldn't be in the same room, would he, when they were talking about Brexit? So he wouldn't be in the same room. He just said, no, she's got to leave.
But, for the sake of balance, it's weird to see these two men doing a pretty serious fight of politics when this just seems like a petty squabble. You've got one man who employs his wife to be his secretary as he's a member of the European Parliament, and another man who is Irish by birth and Dutch for tax reasons.
Right, well then.
So,
can't take him seriously, can you?
No, you can't take either of them seriously.
You can't take any of them seriously.
Before this battle started, and we sadly couldn't talk about it on this show anymore, I had one fear. because I would have loved to have been bombarded with facts and figures, and let everybody take a good decision on where
Based
their
on that?
on facts and figures. But it's turned into a battle of personalities, which is ironic.
But I think politics always does turn into a battle of personalities. Like in the last general election, Cameron, Miliband, it does turn into they seem to try and project the personality more than what they stand for. And they want you to like them as a person rather than what they stand for and what they're going to do for you. And obviously the same thing's happening again.
But with this referendum, it's not an election. We're not voting for a political party or a manifesto. Yeah. It's a simple in and out question. And we have Conservatives and Labour together, Labour and Conservatives together. Yeah. It's a ridiculous argument then to take it on personalities on, say, Dave, Boris, Jeremy. The worst thing is I'm using their first names because they have become personalities to us rather than politicians who should be teaching us
it's not right though, is it?
No.
It's not right. I don't agree with that, and I think it's like the showbiz spin they try and put on things. You know, it's like they're not actually producing any pop songs yet, hopefully, but it's that kind of thing. It's like a showbiz spin on it.
You say they're not producing pop songs, but of course
don't tell me, please.
Today there was going to be a special Brexit pop concert, which was to try and get the youth vote, and I think they had Bucks Fizz signed up for the event.
They did not. Who would know Bucks Fizz? The youth vote. Who would know Bucks Fizz?
Well, we talk about the youth vote, you know, people under 56. But that's had to be cancelled.
Just skimmed it then.
Get away, love, you're 32.
It's the lights.
It's one of those ridiculous things that they're all sort of trying to second guess how the public are going to be.
Yeah, they are.
Exit polls still show the Remain and the Brexit votes still quite close. But how do we trust polls? We can't. So
you can't, and like you said, they're trying to second guess how people are going to vote. And you think, you read these polls and it's like, they probably are very, very close. But it's all on the day. It's all on the day. And it's all going to be who actually bothers to go and vote. They're obviously going off a percentage on these polls, like guessing how many vote or whatever. But on the day, it would obviously depend how many actually turn up.
We've already seen people actually registering to vote in record numbers, so much so that they crashed the website, and then they had to extend the opening for that. It's quite nice to see lots and lots of people really energised about politics again, and energised about a decision that they can make that's going to make a difference.
Because it's going to affect them. Because it's ultimately going to affect them. Whatever happens, it will affect them. So you should have something to say about that.
Beyond this referendum, do you think that's a good sign, or do you think we'll get more of the personality politics
afterwards?
Beyond the referendum?
Yeah, because that's it now. There's no going back. This is how they do things. So there's no going back. This is how it is now.
And of course, the personality politics that we've got at the moment of
But you've got to assume that they have a personality. That's the problem.
Well, it's a certain type of personality. Some might say psychopath, some might say sociopath.
Well,
we don't know. But
we don't know.
What that then leads to is what we've got in America, where you have a TV personality. I know he's often counted as like a mogul of business, but he's first and foremost the man who was on The Apprentice. It's like Sir Alan Sugar running for Parliament next. I know he's already a Lord and already in the House of Lords, but this personality politics is surely going to end up in a Trump, isn't it?
Oh, God, don't.
Prime Minister Anton Deck, it could happen.
Well, truth is always stranger than fiction. So don't ever rule anything out. I don't ever rule anything out. Like Trump at the beginning, who's going to take him seriously? Look where he is now. You can't rule these people out. Anybody, you can't rule them out.
I love the fact that you said truth is stranger than fiction, which takes us full turn again back to this big flotilla on the Thames.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not piqued our interest. It's not told us any facts.
Nothing.
It's not really even given us any opinions. It's basically looked like two kids messing about on the water.
Playing pirates. That's what it is, playing pirates. But like you say, who's going to take them seriously? Nobody. So it doesn't change anything. It doesn't change your opinion. It's not going to try and sway you either way. It's just, well, it's a farce, really, isn't it?
Yeah, and like we said...
That probably costs a bit of money, to be honest.
I don't know what's going to happen next. Are we going to get Dave and Boris abseiling naked down the Shard? Are we going to see, you know, people going up the Beetham Tower like Spider-Man? I don't know what the point of...
What you're saying is how far will they go? How far are they prepared to go for the attention and for like to try and... Well, are they trying to sway people's votes? I don't know. I don't know. Like you said, I don't know what's going on.
Because if you are swayed by people...
Then more feel you.
Yeah. If you're swayed by mucking around in boats...
If you're swayed by that, don't bother voting. If you're swayed by that, don't bother. No. You're quite right in what you say.
Nobody will be sat at home today going, you know what, those lads mucking around on the water, that's decided me. I was sat on the fence beforehand.
Exactly. No, that's not happening, is it?
No.
Not tonight, no.
But with this, we've got just over a week left to go now. There's going to be a special edition of the Daily Rundown next week as the polls close and as the results start coming in. We'll be looking at the local scene and also the national story as well. And we'll finally be able to talk about how people voted, because at the moment, legally not allowed to. The argument continues though, and we'll be updating you with any more silly misdemeanours that either side get away with, or try and attempt to anyway. Right, that's the end of part 1 of the Daily Rundown. Still to come, pensions, buggies, and a stairway to heaven. This show, we cover absolutely everything. Get the kettle on, and the two of us will be back in just a few minutes' time here on Channel 7 with the Daily Rundown. Please don't go away.